All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. Dark Spirits, Dark Sports NFL podcast. This is the playoff edition. So overall, I wanted to just show you guys some preseason picks that I made. And this was basically easy money. And again, I'll say it again. This is just representative of what you could do. You know, make sure you're only playing with money that you can afford to lose, no problem. Overall, I had a very good season so far, and I'm looking for making some more easy money during the playoffs. If you pay attention to what's going on and you really know your football, you can kind of predict what's going to happen. And just like in Vegas, you don't need to be right 100% of the time. You only need to be right 51% of the time to make money off of this type of stuff. So while some people was lined up freezing their ass off for a bottle of Blanton's or the newest hype bourbon or whatever, I was just sitting back with my feet up collecting this easy money. So start off with this first pick I made back on September 2nd, 2023, KC Chiefs AFC West winner. So this was overall a very easy pick because in that division, the only threat they had in that division was going to be Denver. And, you know, after the terrible season Denver had last year and the new coach, I thought it was possible that Russell Wilson was going to do something good. I am a Russell Wilson fan. But this was easy money. The Chiefs were going to win that, and they did. So at the end of the season, yeah, they started losing. I thought they'd win about maybe one more game than what they did, but easy money. I'll take this win. The next pick I have is a bet that I made back on September 7th. This is for the Baltimore Ravens to be the AFC North winner. This one kind of had me nervous because the Baltimore Ravens in the beginning of the season specifically were just very inconsistent. I remember when they played overseas, Lamar Jackson, he is the quarterback, but he's also the best running back at the same time. So there's good and bad that comes with that. That means if Lamar is not making a lot of mistakes and he's healthy, you're good. If he is injured or something happens, they're going to lose. So I was very surprised that the Baltimore Ravens ended up with the number one overall seed in the AFC. I figured they would definitely make the playoffs. I figured they would definitely win a division, but I didn't think that they were going to actually be in the place that they are now. But man, I remember back on Christmas when they beat the shit out of the 49ers, I was like, wow, they are for real. So you can see the odds on this were plus 235, so I wasn't the only one. But I knew enough about that division where I was confident doing that. So shout out to the Baltimore Ravens. They have first round bye, so they're just chilling right now. And the last preseason pick I want to show you guys that I made back on September 7th was for the Dallas Cowboys to be the NFC East winner. So if you go back to some of the earlier podcasts, remember in like week 2 or 3, I was saying like, man, this Eagles offense is not looking the same as last year. But when I made this pick, this is what I was thinking. I was thinking that the Eagles looked very good last year. They went to the Super Bowl. But I know that the offensive coordinator left, and he went to Indianapolis. Then I thought about Dallas. Dallas was just one Dak Prescott bad decision away from probably going to the Super Bowl. So I was just thinking to myself, if I was going to match those up with Eagles losing their offensive coordinator, it just seemed to me like an easy pick would be for the Cowboys to win that division instead of the Eagles. And as the season went on and I saw more of Jalen Hurts, and if you know, all of this is documented. Go back on my podcast. I was saying, man, this is not looking right, but they're winning. So anyway, I was right on this pick. Dallas Cowboys, NFC East winner. Easy money. Now I'm going to talk about my predictions for this wild card weekend that's coming up. All right, so the first game I want to talk about is the Packers at Dallas. Packers are doing good. They're surging, but I think that just the Cowboys, with their experience going against a relatively inexperienced quarterback, I think it's going to be close. But Dallas doesn't usually lose at home, especially with Micah Parsons back there. So I'm looking for this to be a close game, but I think the Cowboys should win this. But Cowboys being the Cowboys, you know how they are. I mean, they could lose this game. I hope Dak doesn't. I mean, he's wearing his Walter Payton Man of the Year logo and everything else. this might be the season that they get past the first round. It's been a long time, but Packers at Cowboys, I'm going for Cowboys here. Next game I'm talking about is Miami Dolphins at Kansas City Chiefs, Saturday, 8 p.m. This is the one that's exclusively on Peacock. So this is a game where Miami has to go to Arrowhead and freeze their ass off in January. I'm not really that worried about the weather because Dolphins are used to playing Buffalo in January and it's always cold up there. I just think that overall, at Arrowhead, that kind of gives the edge to Kansas City. I think it is going to be a close game, but I think that the Kansas City defense, with all their starters in, they should have enough. I think the line on this is like 4. It might come down to a field goal or something. It may be 3, but I'm going for Kansas City in this game. Another game I want to talk about is Cleveland Browns at the Houston Texans. So y'all know, look back at my podcast. I was the one that was on Cleveland early. I mean, just again, if you watch enough football, you can be able to tell when a team is like on the upswing. Nobody could have predicted that Flacco would be doing the way that he did, but I mean, this is like destiny sometimes. This is the beautiful thing about the NFL because nothing can really be predicted. It can be, but at the same time, they got to play every game. Cleveland Brown at Houston Texans. CJ Stroud is doing good. The storyline here is that Browns already beat the Texans earlier this year, but that was without CJ Stroud. I think CJ Stroud is good. I just think I'm going to go again to the experience thing. I think that he is good, but just overall, you got a newer coach. You got a younger QB. I think overall this is going to come down to like veteran savvy and moves and that Cleveland defense. I just think that they're going to be able to contain the Texans. Another close game, my prediction, but I'm going to go for the Cleveland Browns on this one. So finally, I want to talk about the Rams at Detroit Lions. I'm not sure if people know, but there's this kind of theory that the NFL is rigged and that it's scripted. But see, this is an example of why that is obvious bullshit. The storyline for this game is ridiculous. So, Matthew Stafford used to be a Detroit Lion. He got traded to the Rams, won a Super Bowl. On the other side, Jared Goff used to be a Ram, got traded to Detroit. So now the storyline here is you have two quarterbacks that are going to be playing against their opposite team. The Super Bowl is in play. You have a chance to basically have a quarterback who went to a Super Bowl with one team, lost. Now he's going to try to lead the Lions to another one. This is just crazy. The storyline is here. Let's just talk about the game. This is what I think is going to happen. I think that the Detroit Lions are for real this season. I think that the Rams are going to ultimately win out over the Lions defense. The Lions do have Aiden Hutchinson, but I don't think that's enough to really contain Stafford and just the offense that they got here. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. But man, I mean, Detroit is favored here. I'm going to have to just go with the Rams here. So we'll see in an upset. So that's what I got for NFL Wildcard Weekend. I think as long as I get the majority of these right, I'll be happy. But hey, I'll be back next week, and we'll see how I did. Dark Spirits, NFL Wildcard Weekend. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you later.